Hello, I'm Mr. Red. A horse is a horse, of course, and no.
Okay, well, here we are for another edition of Neighborhood Training. This week, we're just going to take a short overview of the Barnstable County Fairgrounds, some of the hazards that are in the area, some of the fire protection that we have in place, and also some of the buildings and structures and areas that within the building. We went over this whole area earlier on, one of our first neighborhood training sessions, so we all know that this is one of the farthest parts of town from the fire stations, that Mashpee is down the road. However, due to the traffic in this area here, we are going to have a much more elongated response than we would even normally have. So that's one of the reasons why we have the detail there. The other reason, obviously, is because there's so many folks that come to the fair that it becomes an issue for fire and EMS. It's reported by the Barnstable County Fair Grounds Committee that they expect between 80 and 90,000 people to visit the fair between its opening on July 18th and the closing on the 26th. Obviously, we all know that the weekends, if it's good weather for it, the weekends will be the busiest. Looking at the weather, it does appear that the first weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, is going to be a good weather weekend. It's going to be very hot and humid as well. So I would expect that Friday and Saturday, Sunday, that the fair will be packed with people. Plus, we'll be dealing with a lot of heat issues. So anyway, this is just an overview of the fair. Pretty much know that this is the layout here. Route 151, Schumer Road, and then Courier Road bounding it on the west side. And then we have a parking lot here on Courier, parking lot down here through Schumer down to Old Barnstable. So basically the area of responsibility, or the AOR of the detail, includes about this area here. We will be primarily protecting the fairgrounds and the parking lot and the people that are there as well, but we also, due to the traffic and due to the proximity of the detail there, we will also be dispatched to emergencies in the neighboring areas. I would expect that we would get the calls for Edmar, Duran, and in that area, and also probably some for Shumat Valley. So the dispatchers need to be aware of the details up there and to dispatch to those areas as well. So there we go. Okay. Like I said, I wanted to focus in on the fairgrounds itself. First off, I want to go around to the gates that we have in place around the lot here. Here we go. Okay. Okay. First off, we want to, probably all familiar with anyway, is that the EMS gate is this area right in here. And obviously that's gate number 1. And that's where the EMS in fire gate, the engine will be going in and out of there, and also the ambulances and so forth. While we're right there, the public safety station, police and fire command, and also the first aid building is going to be right inside of here as well. And so that's where we're going to be located. And then gate number 2, the gate system goes counterclockwise around the fairgrounds, starting at gate 1 on 151, heading east 151, and then up Schumer Road and down Courier. So if we think of it counterclockwise, I believe there's about 8 gates. And so we have gate number 2, which we'll be going to. They're in the EMS plan. We're supposed to be taking emergency vehicles are supposed to go in gate 2 and out gate 1, but typically we've transported people to the EMS and first aid tent, and either that or that's where our emergencies emanate from. Obviously, if we have people that are unable to be moved, then we will have to have the EMS come in through different gates around. Okay, so there is gate 2. Gate 3 is down the Schumer Road here. All right. And let's see where we at. Gate 3. Okay, there's gate 3 up here, going to Schumer Road. And gate 4 is just down from there, going down the Schumer. And gate 5 as well. These gates are not used by us so much, except for these are used to transport a lot of the animals into the animal pens, and also the horses, and there'll be some folks camped up in here. A lot of the horse folks will be camped up in here. So it's good for us to know where those gates are and that they'll be coming in. Gate 6 is a gate that we will be using quite a bit for the because it's the entrance for the demolition derby, and also for the demolition derby detail for Breaker 15 will be coming in here off of Schumer Road. So that's gate number 6. And gate 7, as you can imagine, gate 7 is right over here, which is the off of Courier Road as well, coming in. And then gate 8, they call it gate 8, which is right up by the kind of what they call, this is the west gate. So this is the west gate. I guess there's 2 main ticket gates. There's the west gate and the east gate that do the ticket sales. Most of the ticket sales seem to be coming through the west gate, and that's that a round building. And the east gate is, I just want to highlight that east gate if I can find it here. Here we go. East gate is right in there, and this is those are both paid lots. So the east gate basically is for this paid lot, and then for the old Barnstable Road lot. Mostly, a lot of people come in through there. Okay, and we will go through just a few things. You know, this is the, obviously this is the old Barnstable Road lot. There's quite a few people that do park in here, and so it does bottleneck this section of Old Barnstable Road up. There's a gate right in here, but we've had some car fires and situations in there. And we have the Courier Road lot, which is on the other side over here, Courier Road. And one thing that important to note too is this whole area here. This is kind of a downslope right in here where they put these bushes. And this whole section here is filled with campers, usually due to the vendors and the carnies are all camped down in here. So we have had some medical issues down here. We've also had problems with campers as well down there. So that is good to know. Also want to mention that the EMS staging area is right here. Is basically the entrance to Plum Hollow. If we do have an MCI, ambulances will be staged in there, basically because they can exit out the back or enter through the back, and if we do have traffic issues up on 151. Before we go and look at the rest of the fairgrounds, I want to point out the hydrants that are in the area. And it's pretty well bounded by hydrants. In years past it wasn't, but now we are. So here we can see there's a hydrant right by gate 1. Obviously it's on the wrong side of, on the opposite side of Route 151 from the fair, but if we have to block it off, we have to. And right here at Plum Hollow, and right here by Edmar. And there are no hydrants on this section of Ashumet Road as we run down, but there is on the back side of Ashumet Road, right on this corner here, with Hoopole. And as you recall, this is the dividing line between Falmouth and Mashpee is right about in here. So we do have hydrants along here. We do have a hydrant here, and then a hydrant up here at the intersection right in the center here of Currier and Ashumet, and then another hydrant here. Okay, so we'll just take a quick shot just to look through some of the buildings that just to be familiar with that we seem to go to now and then, or the good reference points. Here's the horse barn, and the demolition derby. There we go, demolition derby and horse pull stage there. We have a animal show. Nope, that's not the one I want right there. I want the other arena. Okay, where are we here? Okay. Well, anyway, this is the other arena here. Next to it, they do some shows and so forth there. And in this section here, we have the main stage. And, well, I might as well just click on all these, and then we'll just go around and find out. Well, we'll talk about that while we're right here. Is the kids area is in this area here, all the small kiddie rides and so forth. Obviously, if we have an incident involving children, we'll need to look for the parents. Hopefully they'll be with them there. But it's good to note that this area here is the kiddie ride area. I'll just click on a few of these here. The main showcase, which is where the acts, the music shows and so forth are there. And that's just a showcase stage. Sorry about that, got my confusion here. The main stage, that's what we're looking for. The main stage is right here where all the acts are, and then we have a showcase stage over here, which is just a smaller stage. And we have the obviously the carnival area is over in here where we are going to have all the machinery, and this seems to be an area where we have the most confusion of finding people, because you have the rides, you have lots of people milling around in there, so it's difficult to find people when we're in there. Okay, and the administration building is right here, and that's where, if we need to do any business or secure anything from the officials that are running the fair, this is where we will coordinate to them, and that's okay. The animal areas will be these barns up over here in this corner on the east corner here, and then opposite to that is the craft buildings, the 4-H, and the fruit and vegetable shows, and all that stuff is in there. Now, the other thing I want to just delineate too is good to know where the restrooms are. Not if you have to go, but in years past, we have had calls to the restrooms. I think one year we had some drug issues involved in the restrooms, and a couple of times we had domestics and so forth outside the restrooms, or people have gone there after a situation, whether it be a violence and so forth, that they went to the restrooms, and that's where we ended up finding them in there. So, all right, I just want to quickly run to this map if I can. Doesn't really show us anything more than we've already spoken about, except the fact that we can see that there are the hydrants all the way around the fairgrounds. If this would fill in fast enough here. Okay. Yeah, we've just shown that where the the hydrants are bounding around the fairgrounds. We'll go over just briefly this here, which is showing the just talking about the fair itself, and it'll run from Friday the 18th to the 26th, encompassing 2 weekends, and expecting between 80 and 90,000 people. Obviously, the weekends are good weathers when most of the folks are going to be there. Most of you know there'll be a detail crew with Engine 20, and also the demolition derbies, which are Tuesday and Wednesday of the full week that the fair is on, the 22nd and 23rd. So the detail will have Breaker 15 and a firefighting crew for that. So the hours of the detail crew will be there Monday through Thursday before until midnight, and then on weekends it'll be there from 11 in the morning until midnight. We have had calls to the fair after the fair has been cleaned out. Keep in mind that there are folks camping there. There are machinery for the some part stays on. A lot of we've had fires in like a hot dog stand in the middle of the night and so forth. So it's not, the detail is there, but once everybody goes home, there's still hazards that go on there. We'll have the police detail will be there. The first aid building will be staffed by the hospital personnel. Okay, the special hazards that we will be dealing with: the routine medicals, the hearts, the bee stings, the twisted ankles, the lost children, anything like that. We do have a plan for typically our MCI plan that we have in place anyway, but we do have a Barnstable County MCI plan. If you haven't seen that, you should take a look at it. That's one of the reasons why we have dedicated EMS person there, and they will be in charge of checking out people beyond the first aid temp. Okay, we're going to have some large electrical issues there. A lot of those, as well as hydraulic issues, a lot of the Carnival area, a lot of those rides, in fact all those rides have their own generation units, and if we have an issue with that, we're dealing with hydraulics, fluid leaks, and fluids under pressure. We're also talking about high electrical loads. Talk about crowd issues in the aspect that if something did happen, if we had, let's say someone put off a stink bomb, or there was some sort of a issue that got the crowd into a panic or got the crowd into some sort of a crowd behavior, by and large the fair is all fenced in, so if people are trying to get away from a certain area, there are limited entrances and exits, so we're going to have to be aware of that. Also, we will have animal issues to deal with. If we do have fire, we do have medical, we can have issues involving animals. Also, we will have to be aware of the traffic. And people, by and large, the police do a very good job in getting people across and controlling that, but a lot of traffic on 151, a lot of people trying to cross the traffic. Children, parent, and teen issues. We have lost children, we have young adults, 11 and 12 years old, that are going to do their own thing at the fair, they get injured, and so forth. Now we have to locate a parent to get their consent. How do we find all that? Those are some of the issues that we talk about there, plus dealing with children, and hopefully no one will get hurt or injured there, but if they do, we have to deal with the children. We also have to deal with the parking lots and all that entails, being able to access those parking lots, and also the neighborhoods, as I mentioned before. The neighborhoods are going to be jammed with cars, and by and large the fair is trying to be a good neighbor there, but there is a large influx of cars, so it's going to be hard to get to those neighborhoods. All right, that's just about wraps it up. And I hope that gave us some insight as to what we are doing for the fair in a little bit more preparation. All right, well, thank you. Until next week, stay safe and eat healthy.